Luis Lopez, I'll introduce him in just a second. As I remember to tell you, if you need to use a restroom, they're right outside the door on the other side of the stairs. There's a couple of restrooms. There's a water fountain right back here with some cups if you need anything. And is everybody comfortable? Luis Lopez probably moved to the Grand Valley in 91 or 92, and I met him shortly after that when he and James Tipton did a reading at the library of poems in Spanish and English. And that made had a big effect on me. It was right when poetry was about to become very important in my life. That event right there was a big moment for me. And it's when I probably met you and Jim at the same time. Luis taught, among other things, English, Latin, and ancient Greek and mythology. For the last 22, 23 years, he taught at CMU and other places before that. He's a very good friend. My favorite book of his is Musings of a Barrio Sackboy, with memories of his rather interesting childhood. And he's working on, he's got another book that'll be coming out before too long, which is, sounds like a continuation of this book that I really look forward to. And I'm really thrilled to have you here reading on the Beaver Stick stage, Luis Lopez.
All my poems have titles. What I'm going to read tonight are additions. Well, they're not additions. Someone told me that I needed to finish Musings of a Barrio Sackboy, the book you just saw now. And I had a lot of poems that I wanted to put into that one, but I didn't do it. But finally, I'm going to do it. So the title of this next book will be More Musings of a Barrio Sackboy. I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember the traveling salesman that came and knocked on your door to sell you things. I have a lot of poems about that because I was really drawn to them. This one is called El Leñero, which in Spanish means the man who sells wood. One other thing I have to explain about this is when in my neighborhood in Albuquerque, whenever we referred to an elderly person or another person, we always called him not just Mr. Loftus, but we also put the Spanish in there too. So it was El Señor Mr. Loftus. So this one is about El Señor Mr. Cedillo. El Señor Mr. Cedillo, Irene's dad, delivered wood and coal to our house every Wednesday afternoon. Wood for the stove in the kitchen, for cooking, and coal for the heater in the living room where visitors came to sit and talk. He was never late with the wood or the coal. He brought it in a wagon drawn by 4 horses. I could always hear them coming down the street. Anda Prieto, guía Pinto, go Pantalon, dale pozole. Then the creak of wheels, always on time. Until El Señor Mr. Cedillo bought a truck, a red one, to deliver the wood and the coal. He was late on the first day. The batteries. A week later, the coal didn't let the engine start. We started running out of wood, out of coal. We started getting worried and mad looking for wood in the alley snow. Started thinking about the picket fence. Then I heard El Señor Mr. Cedillo calling in the cold. Anda Prieto, Guia Pinto, Go Pantalon, Dale Pozole. The creak of wheels. Irene said he was trying to sell the red truck. We were glad, and he was never late again. El Señor Mr. Cleaners. He picked up and delivered on Tuesdays in the morning. Picked up grandma's, mama's, and auntie's coats and dresses, things that needed to be dry cleaned. I didn't understand dry cleaning, but I wondered if people could be dry cleaned, so I wouldn't have to boil water on the stove and fill the aluminum tub like a cajete in the kitchen to wash me and my brothers every Saturday. Being the older brother, it was up to me to prepare all that on the wood stove, get the water all hot, put it in the tub, scrub my brothers, and then I got to wash afterwards in that clean water. El Señor Mr. Watkins, the fuller brush man. Mr. Watkins came once a month on Monday to sell us brushes and soap and wax, potato peelers, toilet stuff like plungers and mops. He came into the house, put his case on the floor, and talked and talked and talked. I kept waiting for him to open the case so I could see what new things he had, but he and Mama and Grandma and Auntie just talked. Finally, he winked at me, raised magic hands over his case and said, "Cadabra, cadabra," snapped the lock, opened it, and right on top of all of his brushes and stuff was a Baby Ruth candy bar, which he said was mine. Then Mama and Grandma and Auntie bought stuff.